With just 4 months remaining in the year 2025, we have had quite the eventful year for premium travel credit cards. We have seen annual fee hikes amongst most credit card ecosystems, benefits stripped away from some heavy hitters like the Venture X, and pivotal transfer partners peeled away from American Express, which is why I've decided to go with the new kid on the block being the Citi Strata Elite. And in this video, we're going to talk about 7 reasons why I decided to add this $595 premium travel card to my current rotation. Before we hop into those 7 reasons, let's run through my data points real quick if anyone wants to compare those prior to applying for this premium travel credit card. Now, from a Chase perspective, I'm sitting at 324, as aside from the Hilton Surpass, I haven't made many inquiries aside from my Player 2's applications. I'm sitting at an 826 credit score via Experian, which was the one that was displayed on the approval page. I currently have zero City products because, as we know, with City's rules, this does play a role. And on today, July 31st, with these data points, I was approved for the Citi Strata Elite with a $19,000 credit limit, which takes us into reason number one why I applied. And the most exciting aspect of this announcement is the one-to-one transfer of Citi points into American Airlines. The main reason I placed this at number one was, as we know, there is no other way to transfer your credit card currency into American Airlines. And currently living in Miami, Florida, it is one of the biggest hubs for American Airlines. So when this announcement hit, my eyes opened up wide. Because previously, the only way I was able to book these specific flights was through Alaska, which, as we know, we could transfer American Express points into Hawaiian and thus Alaska. But that loophole has since changed. So I deviated into the City ecosystem, and when they announced the Strata Elite, I thought it was time to pounce. So when we look at the multipliers of this credit card, we can essentially look at them as directly in American Airlines. So 6x via the City nights on Friday and Saturday, as well as 3x back every other day of the week on dining, as well as 1.5% on all purchases. I don't know about you guys, but this is amazing. And while these are not the best multipliers in the City ecosystem, we have another 5% card like the City Custom Cash. We can transfer those thank you points directly into our Strata Elite and then into American Airlines. If you don't plan on getting the Strata Elite, just remember that you can also have the Strata Premier and do this same exact action. As long as your Citi card has an annual fee to it, you can transfer directly into American Airlines, which is huge. When you combine the ability to transfer into American Airlines, the 4 Admiral passes that I get for myself as well as my Player 2, and all the other aspects of this credit card, this was hands down one of the easiest decisions to make based on the American Airlines announcement. But taking us into reason number two, and another key reason why I decided to make this decision was the ability to double dip on credits on year one. As we know, year one, especially for premium credit cards, is where we test out to see if it's going to fit into our rotation for the long term. And on year one, I'm going to have access, because I just applied at the end of July, I'm going to have access to the $300 hotel credit, the $200 splurge credit, as well as $100 for that biannual Black Lane credit. But when January 1st hits, I will then get, as per the yearly allotment, another $300 hotel credit, as well as $200 via splurge credit. So when you add all of this up, guys, year one is easily, not even counting the sign up bonus, a slam dunk in relation to the effective annual fee. One of the credits that I'm going to briefly touch on is definitely the Black Lane credit, because I've been seeing it get a lot of hate. And with the Strata Elite, you're going to get 2 biannual $100 Black Lane credits to utilize on this credit card. Now, Black Lane is a private chauffeur service that usually come in at least a Mercedes E-Class and can go all the way up to something like a Mercedes Sprinter. They're going to give you at least a 60-minute allotment, whether you are on time or they'll wait for you. They'll meet and greet you, give you complimentary water. So it's a private chauffeur service, kind of identical to Uber Black. Now, it can be on the pricier side, but internationally, I have seen that it gets a little bit more mileage. And being that I have 3 international trips planned over the next 4 months in credit card points and miles, this is going to be a slam dunk for me to utilize. And I'll show you guys an example. When I'm going to Portugal, I tried from the airport to the first hotel I'm going to be at, and then the second hotel back to the airport. And both of these are going to cost around $140 USD. So essentially, for $40 out of pocket, because the first $100 is going to get credited based on this credit card, I am going to get a private chauffeur service to take me and my wife to my hotel, as well as from the hotel back to the airport. I know it is kind of extra and it's not a service that I would utilize before, but I can definitely make it work. While it's not going to get that $200 of value when I'm calculating my effective annual fee after year one, it's definitely going to get some mileage because this is a pretty cool service and I'm going to be able to get mileage out of. Moving on to reason three of why I pulled the trigger on the Citi Strata Elite is its elevated 100,000 Citi Thank You Points sign up offer. And very similar to the Chase Ultimate Reward Points, Citi Thank You Points can be cashed out at a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning this elevated 100,000 point offer is worth at a baseline $1,000 cash value. And if we transfer it out to some of the lucrative transfer partners like American Airlines, this value can multiply exponentially. And if we were to compare this sign up offer to some of the heavy hitters in the premium travel space, we would see that the Venture X traditionally offers 75,000 Capital One miles, the American Express Platinum offers 80,000 membership reward points, and prior to its recent revamp this past month and increase to $795 annual fee, the Chase Sapphire Reserve traditionally offered 60,000 Chase Ultimate Reward points. So this elevated 100,000 Citi Thank You points was a slam dunk for me, and I slammed the apply button instantly. And this elevated offer is thought to expire on July 31st, which is the date that I'm filming this video. But there are rumors circulating on Doctor of Credit that this will be extended to August 31st. And the ways to achieve this specific sign up offer is either to go in person into a Citi branch and apply, call into your local Citi branch and have them send you this specific elevated offer, or utilize one of the circulating links either on Reddit or Doctor of Credit. But I do want you to proceed with caution as there are rumors that these are for specific applicants only. Whichever way you choose to go about it, guys, this 100,000 elevated offer, in my opinion, is a great starting sign up offer. Taking us into our next reason and filling in another large gap I had in my overall credit card setup was the Priority Pass lounge access. And while I do have the Crypto.com green card that gets me Priority Pass access, it did not cover the fee for my Player 2. So each time that we entered into a lounge, it cost me $35 additional dollars to get her in. And the Citi Strata Elite not only gets you in for free, but two additional guests. And with the recent changes to the Venture X, this was a big driving factor to apply for this credit card. Because I'm not only bringing down my effective annual fee because I was already paying this $35 each time, it's also getting me into the premium travel credit card space that at this time does not have any major nerfs. Moving on to reason number five, and one of the easiest justifiable credits on the Citi Strata Elite is the $200 splurge credit. This $200 can be subtracted at its amount to the effective annual fee, as you have access to partners such as American Airlines, Best Buy, as well as Live Nation. These are three places that almost every single consumer shops at, and I haven't tested it yet or found any data points, but I'm wondering if I can even just go into Best Buy and buy $200 worth of Visa credit cards. This is something I'm going to have to investigate a little bit more, and I'll report in a later video. But if you are able to do so, you can essentially lower your $595 annual fee down to $395. But even if this isn't the case, I buy things for the YouTube channel at Best Buy. I shop at Live Nation for any concerts, as Miami, Florida is a kind of frequent stop for some of the big artists. And with a direct transfer into American Airlines, this $200 credit is easily justifiable. So I'll not only get a $200 splurge credit from July to December, but when the annual changes to 2026, I'll get an additional $200 to use at the partner of my choice. As we make our way into reason number six, and one of the most shocking parts of making this video was the preferred hotels and resorts transfer partner. Now, I'll be 100% transparent with you guys. I have not done a deep dive into their offerings because I had zero city footprint. But now that I have the Strata Elite, I was taking a little peek at the other transfer partners that I have access to. And guys, it looks like there's some crazy value in the preferred hotels and resorts, because each and every one of your Citi Thank You points gets you 4 points in this ecosystem. Now let's take a little example. I just kind of took a look at some of the destinations that I plan on traveling to next year, and I looked at Lake Tahoe. And at a preferred hotel and resort, Lake Tahoe Resort, it is running around $1,300 a night. But in points, that same booking will cost you 150 preferred hotel and resort points. But at a 1-to-4 ratio, this is only going to run you 37,500 Citi Thank You points, meaning that we're capturing 3.6 cents per point of value. This is insane, guys. And I honestly think as more people transition into Citi with the American Airlines edition, they're going to start to see the crazy value that you can get in this offering. But one thing I do want to add is what I did notice is that their footprint isn't as big as, let's say, Hilton or Hyatt, but it seems that there is some crazy value to be had here. And as I stay at more and more of these resorts, I will make additional videos so you guys can see how you can capture some crazy value. Now we finally made it to the last reason, number 7, and that is the effective annual fee. While in the previous part of the video, we calculated the effective annual fee in year 1, which is going to be a lot better when we compare it to year 2, because as we know, in year 2, you're not going to have the sign up bonus and you're not going to be able to double dip on those credits. So in year 1, it's going to be super lucrative because, like we said, it's going to have 2 splurge credits because we're going to get the one for year 2025. And when 2026 hits, we're going to get a second one. Same goes for the hotel credit, and we're going to get a second biannual Black Lane credit. When we move on to year 2, we need to decide if this credit card is going to make sense going forward. Because if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I'm not a credit card churner. I like to pick credit cards that have longevity in my long term setup. And if we take a look at the hotel credit, living in Miami, it's very easy for me to book rooms for things like Disney or Universal Studios, which I go multiple times a year. So while I do know the travel portal, especially for Citi and any other credit card issuer, is going to have slightly elevated prices, but this is still going to get me some value. So I'm personally going to value this one at $200. Black Lane, while I am getting $200 black and white, it's not something that I use normally. So I'm going to value this at $150 because it's still going to get usage for me, especially in my international travels. Now, the splurge credit, guys, this is going to get away 100% towards the effective annual fee because $200 equals $200 in the ecosystem of my choice. So if we can add all of these together, it's going to total $540. So the credits are going to leave me with an effective annual fee of just $45. And that's not even considering the TSA pre-check that we're going to get every 4 years, the Priority Pass Lounge, or the 4 American Airlines Admiral Passes. So all in all, I see even year 2 and beyond immense value coming from the Citi Strata Elite in my personal rotation. All in all, guys, I do want to remind you that if these credits as well as the annual fee does not fit into your budget or just your overall credit card rotation, the Citi Strata Premier is a definite second option. That's because just with its $95 annual fee, you're still going to have access to the Citi transfer partners and quite a few amazing multipliers. I would definitely think of taking a look at that credit card, but I am just super excited for what the future has as long as the American Airlines ecosystem doesn't get nerfed. Because since I have zero Citi footprint, I'm going to be able to rampage through all of these $0 annual fee credit cards, kind of stacking those $200 subs and sending it into American Airlines, as well as rinse and repeating with my player too. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe as it directly supports my channel. And if you want another video on the Citi Strata Premier, I'll have one right here for you guys.